Welcome to AzureTeach.net. In this demo, we are going to learn Azure Storage Account shared access signatures and also generating them using .NET Core programs. This is based on a real-time scenario. Stay tuned. Before we start, please subscribe to AzureTeach.net channel for more videos on Azure and .NET. Shared access signature is a way of sharing access on blob or storage container or storage queue or storage table or even on entire storage account with restrictions. Example, we can set start and expiry dates for the access and also set permissions like read only, read write, and there are some other permissions also that we are going to see in this demo. I have used shared access signatures extensively in my projects. Let us understand the use of SAS with a real-time business use case. This use case is related to a US-based health insurance company. Here, if you see, we have a government organization, we call it as CMS, that is Center for Medicare and Medicaid. And every health insurance company in United States has to submit the data to the CMS for compliance purposes. If you see here, we have a compliance team and we belongs to the compliance team, and we have several other teams also. And at the time we had developed this application, there were 53 teams. And here every team has to submit the data on different frequencies like daily, weekly, monthly, and the compliance team used to submit the data as and when the government organization requests the data. If we take daily frequency as an example, these teams have to submit the previous day's data on current day by 12 p.m. And if we take monthly as an example, these teams have to submit the data of previous month in current month on 7th by 12 p.m. In this demo, we are going to discuss about this monthly frequency implementation in detail. Before that, let us understand the basics of shared access signature first. Here I am in Azure Storage Account. I am going to containers, and here we have demo container, and here we have a blob. I'm clicking on this, and this container has the access level as private access level. So if I copy this blob and paste it in the browser and hit enter, it is showing resource not found. Now I want to generate a SAS. So here I'm clicking on Generate SAS. Here we can choose account key or user delegation key. I want to go with the account key. Account key means the key related to the storage account. Every storage account will have two keys, and here I want to use the key one, and this information you can get by going to the access keys. I'll show it later. And here I want to choose the stored access policy as none. I want to give read permission only. I do not want to choose other permissions. And here the start date is this one and expiry date is this one. And here I want to go with HTTPS only. I'm clicking on Generate SAS URL, and here I'm copying this blob SAS URL. Now if I paste it over here and hit enter, if you see, I can read the content of this file as we have set read permission. This token will be expired at this particular date of time. We can generate the SAS token for container as well. So here I'm inside the container. I'm clicking on shared access tokens, and here we have the similar form. I want to go with the default start and expiration times. I'm clicking on this button. If you see here we got this blob SAS URL. Unlike the file, we can't use this URL in the browser. We have to use Storage Account Explorer. If you see here it is showing some error. We can use the blob container SAS URL inside Azure Storage Explorer or even programmatically. This is a free software. You can download it from Microsoft site. Here I am clicking on connections. Shared access signature that we have generated is having an issue. Let us see that now. I am clicking on blob container. Here I'm choosing this radio button. I'm clicking on next, and here I'm pasting the Blob SAS URL. So here it is showing a list permission is missing inside this token because a container can have multiple files. So if we have to read a file, first we have to list all the files. So that's the reason it is complaining. Now I'm back to portal.azure.com, and here I'm giving the list permission, clicking on generate SAS token and URL, copying this and going over here and pasting it over here. Click on next, click on connect. So after that, here, if you see, it will show you the attached containers. And also here it listed the file. At present, we did not give the right permission, so we cannot upload file to this container. When we are generating the SAS tokens programmatically and sending that to our business partners, we are giving list permission, read permission, write permission, and create permission as well. There are some business partners who use this Azure Storage Explorer and they'll upload the files manually. And some other business partners have their own processes which will upload the files to our storage containers. If you want to give the permissions using shared access signature on entire storage account, you can go to the shared access signature that is inside the storage account. And here, if you see here, we can select different services over here. And after that, here you can choose the permissions. By default, all are selected. And from here, you can choose the time and date. And after that, you have to click on this generate SAS and connection string. Now it is disabled over here. Here you have to choose one of these. Like here you can choose entire service, or you can select a container, or even if you want to select an object, like if you want to select any blob, you can select this checkbox as well. And if you enable any of these, it will enable this button. When we are generating the shared access signature, at all the levels we have this key 1 and key 2 drop down, and these are belongs to the access keys. And also here, if you see, we have the connection strings as well. If you want to access the entire storage account, you can go for the connection strings. The channel already have videos. If you want to see, you can view them. Let us implement this use case. As I stated before, in this we are going to implement monthly part only, and also we are not going to use any entity framework related stuff, because here our primary focus is to generate the SAS token programmatically and also upload the file programmatically. Here I have created a .NET 5 console application because we have deployed a .NET 5 console application as a web job, but the code that I'm going to write will work inside .NET 3.1 and also .NET 6 as well. I did not want to go for .NET 6 because the program.cs class will look different in .NET 6, and that may cause confusion to some of the viewers. Now, the first thing that we have to do is we have to add a NuGet package that is related to Azure Storage Account. So here I am going to browse and searching for storage. We have to use azure.storage.blobs package. So I'm selecting this, install. I accept. The package has been installed. We can generate the shared access token using the connection string. So we have to go to the storage account, access keys, and show keys. There are various ways we can generate the shared access token, but here I am showing the connection string. We can use the app registration also, or even a delegated user key also. We have separate videos in the channel. If you want to see, I'll leave the links in the description. I'm copying this connection string. And here inside the code, I'm writing constant string connection string is equal to, I'm pasting the connection string. And after that, here I'm writing list of business DTO. So here I'm pressing control dot over here. We have to use this namespace and I want to generate this class. I'm pressing Ctrl dot over here and generate type business DTO. Now here I'm writing public string name. This is name of the business. Public string email. So we'll generate the shared access token and we'll send email to this contact. Now here I'm writing business list is equal to get business list and pressing Ctrl dot over here. And here I'm just returning few hard-coded list of business. In real time, we contact the database and get all these details. And also this DTO looks different. It will have more properties. So for now here I'm adding one business DTO and I'm giving the name as caregiver. After that here email is equal to, I'm pasting an email over here and here I'm writing for each where business in business list and here await create SAS and notify, and to this I am passing business, and after that here I'm pressing Ctrl dot and generate new method, and here we have to use blob container client. Blob container client, this is there inside the NuGet package that we have added. So here blob container client is equal to new blob container client. To this we have to pass the container name. So here as the users are going to upload previous month's data, here I'm writing business.name and after that here hyphen date time dot now dot add months of -1. This will give us the previous month's date because this web job runs every month first at 12:05 a.m. and we have to format this to toString, and here we have to take month and year. So this will give something like caregiver hyphen the month number and the year number. And also here we have to use toLower because the Azure Storage Account does not allow capital letter to the blob container client. And also here we have to pass the connection string. So here after that we have to write await blob container client dot create if not exists async. So every month we'll create new containers and generate SAS and notify the customers. And after that here I'm writing where current date is equal to date time dot now, and after that here we have to write blob SAS builder is equal to new blob SAS builder, and to this we have to mention start on is equal to current date and expire on is equal to new date time, and we have to take the year from current date and current date dot month, and in our real-time program we are giving 7, and this is also configurable. We are getting this value from the database, and if you want to change it anytime we can simply update the database. But now for this demo I am giving the date as 15th because here if you see the date already passed 7th of current month. After that here I'm writing resource is equal to C because we are sharing the token on container, and after that here we have to write blob SAS builder dot set permissions, and here we can use blob account SAS permissions dot read, and after that blob account SAS permissions dot write and blob account SAS permissions dot list, and after that blob account SAS permissions dot create. Now we have to write where SAS URI is equal to blob container client dot generate SAS URI, and to this we have to pass blob SAS builder, and after that we have to notify the business partner. So here I am writing notify business, and here I'm passing the SAS URI, and also here we have to pass business.email. Now here I'm pressing control dot. This should be an async method, so here I'm writing await, and after that here task. We are going to use SendGrid to send the email, so we have to install a NuGet package. So here I'm going to manage NuGet packages and searching for SendGrid, and here we have to install this package. Now here I'm writing SendGrid client, press Ctrl dot and use this namespace. SendGrid client is equal to new SendGrid client. To this we have to pass a token. I'll paste the token later, and after that here we have to create a SendGrid message. So here I'm writing SendGrid message, press Ctrl dot and use this particular namespace. Message is equal to new SendGrid message. Inside this I am mentioning from equal to new email address. This SendGrid is a service inside Azure, so if you want to take a subscription of this, you can do that. It is a free service for 1 month. So I'll create a separate video on that later. So inside this we have to put an email address that is already registered as a sender inside SendGrid. So here I am using the same email address, and after that here we have to mention the subject, and the subject is $file submission URL for month. So here I'm copying this and pasting it over here, and after that here message.html content is equal to, I'm just mentioning SAS URI dot toString, and after that message dot add to, and here we have to mention the two email address. So that is the business email, that is again the same email address, and after that here we can write something like where mail sending result is equal to await SendGrid client dot send email async. To this we have to pass the message, and after that if mail sending result dot success status console dot write line mail has been sent to, and here we can mention the email address. So here I'm writing email. Otherwise here we can write something like console.writeLine mail sending failed to email. This is it. This is what we have to do. And now the main part here is this part where we are creating the container and also generating the SAS URI. Now I'm running this program. Here if you see mail has been sent to this email address. If you see here, the container is created. Also, I got email with the shared access signature URL. I'm copying this. I'm going to Storage Explorer and going to connections. And here I'm choosing Blob container, shared access signature URL. Click on next and pasting the URI over here and clicking on next over here. If you see here, we got read, create, write list permissions on this particular container. I'm clicking on connect. So the token that we have generated is working fine. However, if I try to upload a file, it was failing. So there is some issue with our program. Here we have to use UTC date because Azure works in UTC time zone. So I have changed this to UTC now and I am running this. Mail has been sent. Copying this URL. Going to Azure Storage Explorer, connections, Blob container, shared access signature, next, pasting the URL over here, clicking on next, clicking on connect. Now let me upload a file. File successfully uploaded. Some of our business partners are using this kind of manual process, but we do have business partners who are using automated processes. So they have exposed us their APIs, and after notifying the business, we are calling their API and inserting the SAS URL to their database, and their processes are reading the SAS URL and uploading the files automatically. Let us write a program to use this generated SAS URL and upload a file programmatically. Here I have created another .NET 5 console application, and also I have added the required NuGet package, that is azure.storage.blobs. So here I am writing blob container client, press Ctrl over here, and here blob container client is equal to new blob container client. To this we can pass our SAS URI. So here I'm writing URI and pasted the URL. So in our real-time applications, we are reading this URL from the database, and also we are generating the CSV file from the database records and uploading it, and that is not required as our primary focus is shared access tokens here. So I am uploading a file from my local drive. So here I'm writing blob container client dot upload blob, and we have to give some blob name. So here I'm giving sample file.txt, and after that here I'm writing new file stream. Press control dot use system.io, and here we have to give the path, and after that here we have to mention the file mode. So here I'm mentioning file mode dot open, and after that here we have to mention the path of the file. I have pasted my local drive file path. Now I'm running this solution, so it ran successfully, there are no errors. Now here inside the caregiver container, if I do refresh, here we can see the file that we have uploaded. That is all in this demo. If this video is helpful to you, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and also share my channel with your colleagues. And also if you have any queries, please comment. Thank you.